to A Couple of Instigators.
Well, hello, my friend.
Hello. Episode 48, I believe.
Yeah,
I would...
We'll have to celebrate when the episodes hit the same age as you.
All right.
Because we already surpassed mine.
We did? We didn't even do a celebration.
Well, I didn't even... I just thought of it now.
Oh, you thought about it now.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds good. We'll have a celebration. So...
We're getting close.
Yeah, I've been thinking of I'm going to do a little, update right before the podcast now. Kind of explain what our show is about right before, which I'll add that in after. And I'm going to be working on our stagers. You know, our whole thing was to work on fixing up this podcast, concentrating on this for the year. There was something... Oh, I'm thinking it's going really well because we're not taping so late and I'm sober.
Yeah, it's because you're not on the... You're not on the...
The ambience.
The ambience, yeah.
Right. So, in fact, today I was thinking about that.
Yeah, it's a lot less frustrating. It really is. I think it was great. We're doing real good.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm editing the podcast. I'm like, these podcasts, they're going very well, very smooth. And then I thought, well, maybe because we're not recording at 10 o'clock when I'm like pretty annihilated.
Yeah.
And eating like peanut butter pie while we're recording.
You haven't even been stuffing your face during this. You've been organized. And
I know, I'm trying to organize. I'm trying.
Oh, you're doing so good with all your New Year's stuff and your fashion and your organized.
Yes, Amy, tell me how good I'm doing.
You are doing so good, girl.
All right.
You're almost Marie Kondo. You're like Marie Kondoing this year.
Yeah.
You are Marie Kondoing this whole year. Like
I am.
You've got it together. You have Marie Kondo this year.
All right. Well, anyway,
you got this
right. Let's jump into this Marie Kondo thing.
Tell me, because
I went on Netflix.
I didn't know it was a big deal.
Apparently
it's a big deal now.
She's a big deal. So she has her own Netflix show.
Yeah.
And here it is. Okay. So she has a Netflix show. I found it by mistake. I was just randomly looking for something to watch on, binge something.
Yeah.
Because I'm struggling. I want to talk about that. I mean, I know the shows I'm struggling to find something. It's just really frustrating that initial finding something that you can get into. Amy, I started 4 different series that people told me were amazing. I could not get into it. But I want to run this one by you, just off topic. Well, it's kind of on topic, but it's a Netflix show. And do you watch Orange is the New Black?
I quit 2 seasons
But you watched it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know the girl who has the long curly hair and she's a lesbian on the show? And she's got long curly hair.
Yeah, I know who she is. Okay. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
She's really kind of cool. And she was in that movie, but I believe, was it But I'm a Cheer? No. It was, she's done some pretty campy, lesbian, gay, iconic movies in the past. That girl. Google it real quick while I tell the story, Amy. So.
I don't even know what character you're talking. I know who you're talking about. She's got the crazy hair.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. She's on Orange is the New Black. She's one of the main characters.
Just tell me about her.
I'm going to tell you the story. So she's on a show, and it's called The Russian Doll on Netflix. And I can't even tell you how many...
Oh, yeah, my friend has been telling me about this.
Okay, so everybody on my feed is talking about how great this is. And I'm like... Oh, let me check this out, right? So and I'm like, oh my God, it's her. You see she stars in it right in the beginning. Yeah. And she wrote it, produced it, directed it. She's did everything.
It's all her. It's all
her show. So, but Amy, I only could get through 30 minutes of it and I was bored, confused,
Yeah.
And I turned it off. Turned
it right off.
I did. And because of my ADD and
you felt bad, didn't you? You felt bad.
I'm so impatient, Amy. Like, if for me to get into a show, it has to be so good the first episode. Like, it just can't drag. And then people are like, oh, well, give it like 3 or 4 episodes. Well, no! No, I'm not. It's too much. That's 5 hours of my time. Right?
That's too much time. There's a billion other shows out there.
Thank you.
Like Marie Kondo. So you watched her.
Yes. So anyway, while I'm flipping around, so she is supposed to be organizing people. So each show, she like goes to someone's house and organizes them, okay? But she doesn't speak English.
Right. Does she have a translator? Or
yeah, and like it's like and like they type, like you got to read what she's saying. So I'm like, number one, she's doing a Netflix show, an American Netflix show, and she doesn't speak English. It was very weird.
Right. And so what is the difference between so these people aren't like hoarders or anything. They're just like a little bit disorganized, right?
Yeah,
like
right. It's nothing like hoarders. So she is a professional organizer.
All right.
And she's, I guess what you would call someone like a minimalist, kind of. Like, she's one of those, if it doesn't bring you joy.
If it doesn't bring you joy.
That's it.
You get rid of it.
You get rid of it.
That's like the big catchphrase now.
It is.
And there's a lot of memes. There's a lot of memes going on. Right.
And she holds up an item, and I think she can say in English, does this bring you joy?
She learned that part.
I think so. Part. I'm telling you, I watched it so quick. I'm going to go back and watch them now that I know who she is. Because it was, So, right. So she's like, does this bring you joy? No. Right? So it's like
this
literally.
Thing is really blown up. Like,
yeah.
Like a
that would be like me picking up this nail file. You're looking at me going,
it does bring you joy because you're half the time filing your nails while we're podcasting.
Or itching my head with it.
Itching your dirty scalp, yeah.
So
it does bring you joy.
It brings me joy. So this stays.
We don't get rid of that. We're not getting rid of that.
Does this bring you joy?
Yeah, and your 30 fake Ray-Bans that are coming in the mail.
Bring me joy.
I'm sure each pair is going to bring you joy.
Right. She's not going to get me to throw anything away.
She's
because
not.
It all brings me joy.
Yeah.
So it's not going to work for me.
No, it isn't. For me, I've really scaled back a lot of my stuff over the years. I kind of self-taught myself.
Right?
Yeah. With a little bit of intimidation from, acquaintances, I would say. Yeah.
So the premise of that show is if it does. So now she has a thing out where, like, she's doing a thing on friendships.
Right. Okay? That's where I posted something the other day. You should Marie Kondo your friendships.
Yeah, so you got
Even though I haven't watched her, I found that has been effective in eliminating stress in my life.
Yes. So
it's been a blessing. So
right.
If you need to do that, you go ahead.
So
today I posted one, and like I said, I just now I need to learn more about this lady because she's like on fire. Like everyone's talking about it.
Right.
The meme I saw today is rate your level of having your crap together. Are you Are you Marie Kondo or Fire Festival?
Are you Fire Festival?
Are you Marie Kondo or are you Fire Festival? As having your crap together.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm not sure about that. It depends on what we're talking about.
Right?
Yeah, no. But but she's really struck gold with that show, it seems like. These little weird Netflix shows always do well. Like, I feel like if that had been on, like, HGTV or something, it would, like, nobody would have noticed that little show.
So weird.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, these Netflix shows get a lot of hype, like, because you can binge watch it.
Well, she has a book out.
Yeah, I know. She's kind of famous before
she's
this. She's obviously been doing this for a long time, but I mean, now she's just like on fire. Everybody knows who she is.
Yeah, like, I had no idea. So I know when I search Netflix, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just go to like new release and like pick something from there, and that must be how I found that show. Because
well,
it was
probably knows. No, that's what happened. Is Netflix knows that you got a hot mess of products coming to your house, and so they recommended the show based on what you need.
It has to be tied in.
She's got issues.
It has to be. Has to be tied in with Alexa.
This show to Cindy, we know she's got a lot of crap at her house.
But
let's recommend this show.
Oh my gosh! I have to tell you something that happened.
What's going on?
I was messaging with some of my friends, and somebody on our messenger, just our Facebook messenger, and we brought up words with friends, like we were as a group chat, and we were like about, I was saying like Danielle loves to play words with friends, da-da-da. I go back to my regular Facebook page, and I'm scrolling, and what ad pops up?
Words
with friends.
Yep. Facebook, they listen.
So our messaging is definitely knows what advertises by what we're saying on Messenger.
Well, let's test it, because we message all the time.
Yeah,
about
so
let's do something. Let's see what kind of recommendations
we could get. So right. What can we talk about that it could refer? Yeah. I always get the craziest Amazon shopping recommendations.
I do too, for AliExpress and Wish and all that. I get like really weird, like sexual, things.
Insane.
Because we share those articles with each other in Messenger for the show.
Oh,
so they probably think we're interested in all that.
I don't know, but mine was just so bizarre the other day, and I know I should have screenshot it because it was the most bizarre thing, and I can't remember.
I was doing that for a while. Shopping recommendation misses. Do that. When you see one, screenshot it. We'll share
I'll screenshot them because they are... Yeah. It was so bizarre. Wacky.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very bizarre.
All kinds of weird stuff.
All right. Well, we've already skipped, so let's move on to... want me to give you my Valentine's Day update?
Yeah, I wanted to hear how you regifted Valentine's Day.
So all my regifted gifts were a big hit, and
well, that's good. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they were appreciated.
And I caught her gazing at the card and the flower lovingly. She was gazing.
Aww.
I said, "Oh, are you just like in awe of like how amazing everything is?" And she was just like started laughing. But at first, I think she thought I put that together. I don't think she realized it was a regift.
You don't think she realized it was... You think she thought you started that card from scratch?
Well, she knows I take used cards.
Yeah.
So anybody who's just listening, for Valentine's Day, somebody at work brought me a rose. I gave it to Danielle for Valentine's. I found an old Merry Christmas card, scratched off Merry Christmas, wrote Happy Valentine's Day. And I put a picture of the two of us together that someone at work printed and gave to me randomly a couple weeks ago.
Cute. Yeah, that's probably what did it, was the picture.
So she was gazing at the picture, and she knew exactly when it was.
That's adorable.
Yeah. So it was...
She could have been gazing at it, wonder what she's still doing with you, honestly.
What? Right. What was that?
You never know. She could have been like,
this is what I've signed up for. Exactly. Also, my daughter posted and tagged me that the Jonas Brothers are going back on tour.
Oh, so she wants to go.
And I said I refuse to take you to these concerts unless Nick is divorced, and I know I still have a chance of you getting the life you deserve. So...
Well, maybe going on the road will be like a temptation. You know what I mean? Like. Maybe, yeah. Well, you get those concerts when you're a teenager. If you want to go back now, you
pay.
You got to pay your own way, honey.
Yeah. So,
Mommy's buying you Fuchsi's and whatever else in her haze state, her drugged up state that she's in. So
so Nick got married. And crushed my dreams more than my daughter's, because I took her to those concerts as a kid, and I thought, maybe he'll see her, he'll pull her out of the audience, and I'm like,